Welcome, guys. Just want to say that I will be going live. I will be going live right now. Um, Trying to get slowly into the spirit of things, and yeah, adding like the first moment. Uh, I'm gonna give some thoughts on this. Well, we have UFC event coming up soon, but I wanted to give some early hint of UFC 274. I'm probably gonna stay around 1 hour. You can ask me whatever you want if you have questions. Uh, yeah, you can you can ask me whatever you want. I'm like trying to get the ball grinding, keep the ball rolling. Just back in 30 seconds. Just to take water. I need to take water. Just 1 second. Alright. Here I am. Getting back on the road again. Okay, here I go. So, I will try to grind this out and pretty much having a hard time noticing this. There are so many, so many heavy bouts to pick here, and yeah, we do have event this weekend, but this is pay-per-view. Like in this event, we got Newsom versus Garcia, we got Pupito Godinez versus Ariane Carnelossi, Clayton Rodriguez, CJ Vergara, Tracy Cortez, Melissa Gatto, Francisco Trinaldo, Danny Roberts, Blagoy Ivanov, Marcos Rogerio de Lima, Brandon Hoy, Valmet Chanel, Macy Kiason, Norma Dumont, Randy Brown, Chaos Williams, Cowboy Cerrone, Joe Uzon, Vincent Pru, Mauricio Shogun Hua, Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson, Rose Namajunas, Carlos Esparza, Charles Oliveira, Justin Gaethje. I'm like gonna be very, very much hyped heading into this event, but all that hype around Tony Ferguson, I'm just hoping that I'm making a big mistake by not picking Tony Ferguson for the victory. And I know this might not be the best time to go live, especially for my die-hard fans from the United States of America, but tomorrow I'm having 3 matches, the day after tomorrow I'm having 3 matches, so not gonna be an easy work for me, but I'm not the guy who's gonna surrender, even if it's the hardest. I'm not the guy who surrenders. I just never look back. I just keep the ball rolling, never look back. Keep grinding forever. That's just me, guys. I know I might be going head to head with Luke Thomas and with other high level guys, but Luke Thomas doesn't know to fight, and you've seen how my fighting skills have improved. So all those big journalists, big names, I've seen nothing when it comes to fighting improvement, when it comes to fighting skills, aside of Laura Sanko or some former UFC names, the likes of Dan Hardy, for example. Majority of them don't even know to fight, and that's. I understand the sport. I'm looking this from a different eye. as a different perspective. As a die-hard fan of Tony Ferguson, I want to believe that Ferguson is going to win this match, but it's it's just too much. Still, it's just too much for me to believe, as Tony Ferguson is, well, he's on a cold streak, and also Cowboy Cerrone, this might be his end in the UFC. So I will probably be watching this event with the tears in the eyes. If Chandler wins, do you think he will call out Poirier for a title eliminator fight? Yes, why not? Why not? It absolutely makes sense. Please feel free to ask your questions. I'm gonna be live for 1 hour at least, so please ask whatever you want. I'm very much willing to answer. Today I was training that footwork in the midday, then I've been at my wrestling class. I'm a bit tired, but I'm always eager to discuss with my diehard fans. You know that I love you all, guys. Yeah, I think he will try to call Poirier out for a title eliminator, and that fight could actually make sense in my eyes. Like Conor is more for how you say money fights. Yeah, money fights. That's Conor serving for money fights and nothing else. As there are many potential money fights he could chase, but this, I think we should really see. We should really see something like that. For example, if Chandler wins, of course, I want to hope that Chandler is not going to win, but simply he's on a roll. Will Carla Esparza be able to hold down Rose Namajunas? Probably yes. Her wrestling is is top notch, and you've seen that she is on the tips of her toes every single time she's trying to keep her opponent down below. The problem is Kimuras and arm bars, and she needs to keep her body close to Rose Namajunas if she wants to keep her down. Will she be able to if she worked on that aspect of the game? My wrestling coach was actually showing me that yesterday. If she worked on that aspect of the game, then she won't be having a problem holding her down for 5 rounds. When it comes to takedown offense, Rose Namajunas' takedown defense is not high level, but again, her movement is slick. So Esparza needs to do more penetration steps to close up the gap and to stop her opponent from evading near the fence. Or Esparza will probably try to pressure hard, which is not the greatest strategy to deal with Rose Namajunas. To deal with Rose Namajunas, you need to be tricky, like Bilal Muhammad used to be very tricky with Vicente Luque, if you know what I mean. I saw that CJ fights earlier. He's a very entertaining fighter. He'd be UFC material. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, CJ Vergara. I believe Rose has a strength and speed advantage, absolutely. I'm backing you up on that. My wrestling coach was showing me Carla Esparza's moves. I'm still not good enough in wrestling to show you that, unfortunately. But he was discussing about those moves today, and he was also discussing about Chandler's wrestling moves. CJ from GTA. The videos I'm putting. Yeah, the videos I'm putting. I have tons of them. They are from my old PC. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, the triple spinning head kick was awesome. You watched the video. Thank you. I played that in 2011, and I brought my old PC. I brought my old PC, to a PC store. I wanted to give them for recycle, and I was like, "Can you please extract some of my old videos?" And they found that, the PC wasn't working, and I said to them, if you activate that, I'm giving you the PC for free. And I just placed them on my external hard drive, and that's awesome. So there will be many more videos of that. It's so cool that your wrestling coach uses UFC fighters as an example in his teachings. Yes, he does. But he is mostly using Dagestani fighters. But he likes Carla Esparza because Carla Esparza is her tips of the toes. She's always on the tips of the toes when she's trying to control the opponent on the ground. And he's using Carla Esparza as a good example from female fighters. So he also likes to use Dagestani fighters, and he also likes to use GSP for to show reactive takedowns. To show when to react, how to react, and how to drag the opponent to the ground with a reactive takedown. But my coach is My coach is, believe me, the greatest MMA addict I've seen in my whole life. I follow this sport since 1993, since the year 1993, and I've never met a guy who has more info than me. And that's him. He's watching UFC on Fight Pass literally every day, at least few hours. He is like extremely, extremely, extremely dedicated to his work, and he can create world champions if he want to. Just we don't have many fighters. That's the problem. But he's extremely dedicated to like 2, 3, 5, 6 fighters, and he can create world champions. I'm dead ass. Oh, how are you, Otis? How are you doing, man? Have you seen how my striking moves have improved? They have improved significantly because of that coach, and he is also using Chad Mendes as an example of a penetration step. He is using Carlos Esparza as an example of a perfect wrestling, GSP as an example of great takedown attempts, reactive takedown attempts, etc. But he is using many fighters. For example, for movement, he likes Sean O'Malley, and he likes who did he? TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen. Petr Yan, but I, for example, like Tasha Torres a lot and Wonderboy Thompson. But my coach is a fan of a different style. He's not a fan of Tasha's and Thompson styles. He prefers something like Belal Muhammad, Yan, TJ, Sandhagen. That's his favorite movement style, and he has the greatest number of bantamweights and featherweights, which kind of explains that. It kind of explains that because he downloaded some books from UFC Performance Institute. And believe it or not, fighters spend 60% of time on distance, in the stand-up, on striking distance. And I was shocked by that info. I was really much shocked by that info. When I said to myself, man, is this really possible? Is this really happening? Like clinching 15%, wrestling 10, I think. Not sure though, but it seems that fighters spend the majority of the time striking, which is no, that was a massive surprise for me. I didn't see it that way. Yeah. What do you think of Dustin trying to act tough and call out Nate Diaz? Meanwhile, he's running scared from the King of Chaos. I think he's fishing for the easy money. That's what I believe. I think he's fishing for easy money because, no offense, I'm a diehard fan of Nate Diaz, but he only has 1-2, and Nate hasn't evolved through time, if you know what I mean. The sport is changing. My wrestling coach is constantly telling me that the sport is changing significantly, and unfortunately, Nate's fighting style hasn't evolved through time. He fought the same 7-8 years ago. In round 3 of Carla Esparza versus Alexa Grasso, Esparza went 0-4 in takedowns. I don't think she can keep Rose pace over 5 rounds. Exactly. Championship rounds will probably go in the favor of Rose Namajunas. My wrestling coach said the same. He also said the same, Grayson. That sentence you wrote, my wrestling coach said it today. Literally, from letter to letter, he said the same. And he also used that example against Alexa Grasso, which was... and he said that Alexa Grasso was making... I'm going to have Rosen apology. He said that Alexa Grasso was making a great... effort trying to stuff a takedown because her underhooks were on point and her lateral move was brutal. That's what he was saying. Like every single time Esparza was trying to shoot in, she was stopped by a sprawl and underhooks at the same time, and a combination of lateral moves which were preventing chain wrestling on the end of Carla Esparza. So it seems you are thinking the same. He said the same thing, literally, and. But I asked him, who would you pick? He said, listen, I'm a fan of Esparza, so you know my pick, but he'd stay away. Carla will win the wrestling. I'm also going to go with Carla, probably. But I am worried what's going to happen if the fight advances into championship rounds. My wrestling coach is a fan of Carla, so I think I'm also going to go with Carla. Hands, head, hips, wrestling defense. Absolutely. I just don't know to say every single word in American English, but that's it. Like, he was talking about great underhooks, great posture, excellent sprawling, and brutally good lateral movements, saying that Alexa Grasso showed a perfect takedown defense. Also, One more problem is in Rose Namajunas intentionally pulls guard sometimes because she is coming off BGG background. So this might be a death sentence against wrestler like Esparza, because it's pretty much hard to finish Esparza via triangle choke, almost impossible, because her hands are always like this. But she might be vulnerable to arm bars. I don't see her vulnerable to Kimuras. You need a lot of space and a lot of power for Kimura, and I don't think Rose is gonna get that much space as long as Carla won't stand with Namajunas. True. If Carla stands with Namajunas, she's gonna get her butt kicked. Everybody knows that, because Rose is taekwondo and boxing. Carla knows a bit of punching, but that's all. But when it comes to ground game, she is having 100% advantage over the Lithuanian knockout artist. I'm glad you like CJ videos, guys. I didn't think it's going to be that interesting to you, so I'm going to upload another CJ video tonight, because I see you like those materials, so I'm gonna reward you. I'm gonna upload another CJ video tonight, because I see you like that. I see you enjoy. I'm really looking forward to it, guys. And thanks God, they saved those videos from my old PC in PC store. That's really positive news for me, at least. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome. I was so happy when I've seen that happening, because to some point I really needed that in my life, if you know what I mean. Good evening. Hello, Ginge. How's your puppy doing? How are you doing too? There were this is a free discussion, so you can ask whatever you want. I'm really sorry because I was unable to announce. I don't have a fixed schedule, and I have something important to say. Tomorrow I won't be able to cover the vein because due to my health issues, I must go to the hospital, and during the vein I will be at some tests in the hospital, but I will do last minute picks and predictions. I will also write that in the community, just to know. Is PFL on ESPN Plus tonight or only Fight Pass? I think on ESPN Plus. I haven't checked on Fight Pass. Let me check now. Give me a second. Let me check PFL. Let me see. I think it's on ESPN Plus. It says ESPN Plus here. Let me see. Yeah, there's an Arena Sport, but I don't have it here. ESPN Plus says here. There you go. How you can watch PFL depending on your state. UFC announced for London. I'm happy for it. You can check that link. It depends on your state where you live. I can't think of a championship fight where a champion has had a bigger striking advantage than Rose will have versus Esparza. Me neither. PFL, it depends, it really depends where you live and which is your state, but I'm pretty much looking forward to it, guys. It will air in many states, so that's okay. That's pretty much okay. In the United States of America, it's going to be ESPN Plus. Fight Pass, I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to air at Fight Pass. I really don't know. Thank you. Yeah, just check that link. It depends on where you live. As much as I know, you're from the US, so ESPN Plus or ESPN2, I guess. But in my state, Arena Sport gonna cover too, but I can't follow. Tomorrow I have to ref 3 matches, so it's like, if I recover, guys, believe me, I'm gonna cover way more events. But right now, I have only one vision, that's to recover. So, but I promise you, I will air way more events. Because PFL is fun, I gave you predictions and I'm happy for it, because my fans are going to enjoy. Just to know, you will get another CJ video tonight, because I've seen that you're pretty much happy with that. I didn't expect such a positive feedback because that's a video game. But 11 years ago, I had an idea of creating CJ in the video game because I needed something fresh. I really needed something fresh, and that CJ idea was actually idea of one of the guys who were going with me on college. He was a big fan of CJ, and I was like, "Oh man, that doesn't sound like a bad idea either." Like that CJ battle. You can take a look at one fight here, in the case you already haven't. I think CJ pretty much looks like. I think he pretty much looks like himself, guys. Mm. Mm. Let me see. Just 1 second. I think this one. I think you're gonna like. Hold on. Yeah, I think you're gonna like this video. I really think you're gonna like this video. It's like CJ all the way, career mode. I don't have Sony PlayStation 3 since 2014, just to know, but these are old videos. With the age considered, I'm going to guess Yeri gives Glover a rough time on the feet, but that championship fight hasn't happened yet. I could end up being very wrong. Yes, anything is possible. Jirka should be better on the feet, while Glover should be better on the ground, and I can't see that about going distance. I really can't see that about going distance, guys. But anyway, anyway, there are many lovely options, right? Many lovely options to get in the spirit of things. Yeah, but this is free discussion. You can ask whatever you want. Like for an hour, I will go live for 1 hour, discuss with my fans. 38 minutes more. I'm going live, so I'm, I would stay more. But tomorrow I'm having a very hard day. As soon as I finish live, I will release another CJ video, since the feedback is more than positive, and I have to keep my fans happy because you are keeping me happy too. You are keeping me happy too. You are helping me a lot, and it means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. To have to be surrounded with positive people like you, it really means a lot to me. Like tomorrow, I'm having 3 matches. Then I must go to the hospital. Then I will go the last minute picks and predictions. The day after tomorrow, I have 3 matches, and I will air UFC. So it's a great day for me. Really much great day for me, and a very respectful day. Got to say, a lot of respect for the fans of the best sport in the world. I think Glover wins with his grappling. He has good chances if he drags the fight to the ground. Jirka's wrestling defense is pretty much decent, and he knows to scramble up and get back on his feet. He knows to explode really much amazingly, but Glover's BJJ is always on another level. Always a pleasure coming by and hanging out with the Bulgarian Cowboy. Thank you. UFC really disrespecting John Jones on the pound for pound list. Yes, I've seen that. Do I have Blagoy winning? Yes. Sorry, man, I'm patriotic. Do I have Blagoy winning? Yes, I'm patriotic, but I'm scared about that fight. I'm not going to put my money on Blagoy if that's what you're asking me. No way I'm putting money on Blagoy. But I have him winning, but no way I'm going to put money on him. This opponent is not easy to deal with. And Blagoy is fighting the prelims, and he is fighting Marcos Rogerio de Lima. Like, this almost certainly goes the distance, but Ivanov's counter fighting doesn't leave the greatest impression on the judges, so that's one of the reasons why I'm gonna fade that fight. It's not. I do hope that Blagoy Ivanov gonna win, but his defensive fighting might not be the most entertaining to watch. I may take Blagoy by decision. Count me in, man. That is also my pick, Blagoy Ivanov by decision. Blagoy can take a beating, but he doesn't like to strike that hard, which might be his route to victory, especially against Marcos Rogerio de Lima. So I was hoping we might see something different on the end of Blagoy Ivanov. But it seems he's not changing his fighting style. Blagoy Ivanov likes to be cautious, and he likes to fight defensively. I'm not saying it's a mistake. Maybe it's not, but fighting defensively against Marcos Rogerio de Lima is not pretty much wise. Especially because Rogerio de Lima can fight defensively too, so this might turn into a snoozer. Yeah, you might have to get used to snooze fest. I know Blagoy Ivanov is not much entertaining to watch. I would also be a boring fighter to watch. You know, my striking movement, it has improved significantly, but when I fight, I'm extremely defensive minded, and I would also be extremely boring to watch, but at least I would throw entertaining kicks from time to time, like in the style of Michel Pereira and Blagoy. Blagoy is a safe shot fighter, you know. He fights very safely, and his fight IQ is awesome, but he fights very safely, you know. And he doesn't want to take the risk. He doesn't want to take the bite. But that's just him, you know. Not going to be the most entertaining fight on the card, but when we're already discussing entertaining fights, I do have a feeling that Ronaldo versus Roberts might turn into a barn burner. Lupita Godinez Ariane Carnelossi is going to be a heck of a fight. I can tell you that. Also, Randy Brown, Chaos Williams. We're gonna see some chaos coming up in that one. Which fight are you guys talking about? We can discuss any fight, literally any fight. I mean, UFC 274, any fight, but this is free discussion, so can discuss any fight you're up to, Charles Barkley. Literally any fight you're up to. Like, I decided to spend this night with my friends, so I mean this hour, as I don't have more time, but also, I shared this link. You can check it, Charles Barkley. I made like 11 years ago. I made CJ from GTA in UFC. From GTA San Andreas, I made a character from GTA San Andreas in UFC Undisputed 3. So, believe it or not, after 11 years, I found those videos, and no, it's still that good old nostalgia, man. So I became so nostalgic. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good feature, but I'm nostalgic, man. When I've seen those videos, all those memories started returning. I used to be very happy when I was playing that game back then. So those videos are like Ferguson versus Chandler prediction. I hope your day is doing well. Oh, thank you, Glocta. I have to go with Chandler. As a die-hard fan of Tony Ferguson, I think he is way past his prime, and sorry to say, but not gonna be the greatest time. How are you doing now? How's your day, man? Unfortunately, I can't pick Tony, despite I'm a die-hard fan of Tony. For Chandler, I mean, I don't disrespect the guy, but I'm not the greatest fan of Chandler. But he is a good guy, but I prefer Tony's style over Chandler's style. Chandler is too much of a pressure fighter, but unfortunately, that level of pressure might be too much to handle for Tony, especially because he is on a downfall. Gerald fight. Gerald submission. That's my pick number one. My pick number two is Jotko decision. So I would probably lean Gerald submission. I know Jotko is hard to finish, but Gerald BGG is on a whole new level. But it's not gonna be easy to drag Jotko to the ground. That's a problem. That's a problem for for Mershart when he tries to drag that fight to the ground. Not gonna be easy. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing, man? How's your day been? I'm like, Tomorrow, unfortunately, I won't be following the vein. I will follow it, but on my phone. I won't be going live as I will be in the hospital on some tests. But I'm doing last-minute picks and predictions just to know. Today and tomorrow are like 2 very busy days for me. But last-minute picks and predictions gonna air tomorrow. But unfortunately, I can't go live for the vein as I will be waiting for the results of some tests in the hospital, and I will be watching it. Book is bet. You think for this? No, I didn't. I still didn't bet at UFC 274. No, I haven't bet yet. I haven't bet yet on UFC 274, if that's what you're asking. And if you're asking about the previous event, for this, there you go. This is my bookies bet. That's what I played. Like, but UFC 274, also I can tell you my picks on Tuesday, because Tuesday is the earliest time to play in my state. You can't play earlier. But for this Romanov and Tairo, I'm like, I think that guy Tairo has the chance. He's the first ever Okinawan. He's defending the honor of his island. So I don't have a method for Tairo. I just have Tairo winning, but I don't have like confident method for him. Tony will probably retire. Unfortunately, yes. I know, man. I picked against Tony despite I'm a diehard fan. How do you think Marlon Vera handles Fon's boxing at range? Vera has to drag the fight to the ground, by any means necessary. Oh, yes, he would. Mirko Krokap would absolutely demolish him, that's true. I think Marlon Vera has to... I think Marlon Vera has to try to drag that fight to the ground by any means necessary. Boxing is going to create him a lot of problems, but it's hard to knock out Vera, which might be his advantage to dragging the fight to the ground. Fon's jab is brutal. This might create a lot of problems to Vera, but also Font starts slowing down in championship rounds. That could be Vera's chance. Arlovsky is a damn legend. Hope he wins this weekend. Me too. I actually have it fight starts round 3 for Arlovsky, but I would like to see Arlovsky win the fight. That guy will never retire. No, Spartans will never surrender. When I was listening it was some song about Spartans. I think Coat of Arms from Sabaton. It's like there is a part of the song when they say Spartans will never surrender. I think they should change the text to Arlovsky will never surrender. Well, Arlovsky is 44, man. Yes, he is 44 years old. Any fans asked to spar you in the gym? No. No, No, nobody asked me to. Nobody asked me to spar in the gym. We were like, I'm just learning to wrestle, man. I'm learning to wrestle, so just trying to work on that aspect of the game. Trying to work on wrestling. Sodic versus Khamzat. Sodic Khamzat. That's a hard match. I don't know how Sodic is gonna, never seen Sodic in UFC, but I think he would have good chances against Khamzat. His lateral moves are good. I like actually his lateral moves, so I think he would have good chances to win. But I need to see one Soldic's fight in the UFC. I mean, he's destroying everybody in KSW. I just hope Khamzat is not gonna be his first fight. At least it should be some lower ranked opponent, so I can see how he behaves in the UFC. But I think Soldic would stand a chance. Would you ever mail yourself from Serbia to Scotland? Why not, man? I would like to visit Scotland one day. Like, why it's dilemma? Should be enough meat to last him 2 more years. Yeah. Robbie Law, the guy who panned our James window, is calling you a coward for reporting fake news about him. Well, he is always welcome to come to Achille and settle this up. So, everybody knows where is my gym. So, if he is eager to come here and clear it up, I'm down for it. Just tell him to bring a good mouthpiece. That's the only thing he needs to have. Good mouthpiece and, of course, a groin guard because you think Tracy Cortez is learning anything wrong with Ortega every night? Maybe. Maybe she's gonna improve her ground game. Maybe she's gonna improve her ground game. There is some truth behind it. Yeah, that's actually a good. That's actually a good thing. Ali Abdelaziz. I think Jake Paul wins. Jake Paul to win, man. Ali is not a fighter. I think he used to fight. I think he's having 1-3. I remember when he attacked Colby Covington. It was super funny when he attacked Colby. But he is, you know what is the guy. Everybody are welcome to come at Achilles, so I'm okay with that. Give everybody a chance. Vasu the Psycho, the great, the most popular Serbian fighter on social media. That's the guy who was always giving a shot to everybody. You interested in Valdez Stevenson? I actually picked Valdez. I mean, I picked over 8.5, but I think Valdez has chances to win that fight. Yes, I'm interested. I would really like to see whether Valdez can pull out the upset, if you know what I mean. Luckily, my skills are improving since I joined Achille, and that's good. When I look through back time, Vaso brought a lot of fans to many fighters to social media. That's a skill. You got to be born for that. Oliveira versus Gaethje prediction. Oliveira to win. What is your opinion on Stipe versus Jones? Heavyweight Jones. Haven't seen much on heavyweight Jones. Hard to give a prediction as I have never seen Jones in heavyweight, but would he stand a chance? Yes, but is he slower? Is he heavier? Is he stronger? These are parameters I can't decode at the moment, so very hard to give a prediction right now. I think Valdez is sort of overrated. Berchelt looked spent in that fight before it started. I also think the line makes no sense. Like Valdez is better than the line is showing. Of course, Stevenson should be a favorite, but not minus 550 or minus 500. Not sure. Not sure which is the value, but the value is insane. Is he overrated? Guess so. I think I'm also gonna back you up on Valdez being overrated. Colby is soon Masvidal with some heavy changes. I hope Masvidal rots in jail. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know about those. I honestly got no idea about those charges. How are they gonna handle? But I don't know, man. I don't like sucker punching. Never been a fan of this. Okay, you lost the match. But sucker punching a guy from the back, he is not going to enjoy celebrity privilege. I don't know. I don't know what to say, friend. I really don't know. I've seen what happened, and let's see what the judge is gonna say. I don't know why was he even attacking Colby. Was he that humiliated or what? People have died from that. I know, I know, I know. I don't know why was he doing such things. Was that completely? It was completely unnecessary. That kind of the attack. But maybe his ego was blown away. If you know what I mean. Maybe his ego was hurt. I mean, you need to understand him too. You know what I mean by that. You need to understand the guy. But I don't understand. Why don't you just challenge him for a fight? Why to attack off the back? Does it make sense to you? Because to me, totally makes no sense attacking somebody off the back. It's cowards do that. Sucker punching. Why? It's called thug mentality. Half the world has or supports it these days, unfortunately. Tag or no tag, I don't support it. You can fight like an athlete. You can solve your misunderstandings like a man. That's how you can solve your misunderstandings, but not this way. That's not the way, man. Unfortunately, that's not the way. For me, that's not the way, but for some people, it is. It is definitely for some people. So I, I just don't know. Never been that tag mentality. Never been my style. Okay, to be a tag guy, like in the octagon, to bring more money for the promotion, but street tag, no. Like maybe Jorge should make some kind of I don't know. Maybe he should work on his self-confidence, calmness, visit some therapists. Anyone giving Ferguson a shot is insane. Unfortunately, I picked against Ferguson. The rise attacking him like that makes him a man, and if he didn't do it, he wouldn't be a man. I know. Chandler would run through the Irish in round one. Let's see if that fight takes place. If he beats Tony Ferguson, he's probably gonna fight Darius next, or maybe he's gonna call out Warrior. I don't know what is Dana planning to do in that division, but I really don't know what is Dana planning to do. It depends on who wins, like that Chandler fight. Like it depends on who wins Chandler Gaethje fight. It really depends. Sorry, Chandler Gaethje, Oliveira Gaethje. Sorry, my mistake. It depends on who wins Oliveira versus Gaethje fight. I'm kind of unsure at the moment who could be the next opponent. Chandler is underrated. He almost beat both Olives and Gaethje. Yes, I know. I think Benny is better than people think. There is a chance. What is your favorite fight of all time? Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Like that fight is miles above any other fight. I watched that fight 15 times. Not their second fight that's gonna happen, their first one. When Joanna was bloody, when Weili was bloody, and especially that video Joanna released. What a goal. I like Jan versus Aldo. Technical striking. Chess are better than slugfests. Sandhagen versus Edgar was a great fight. Jan Sterling 1 was awesome. Jan Sterling 1 was awesome. Diaz Lawler 1, yeah, Stubborn Mick. It was funny fight to watch. It was excellent, but I've been a big fan of Weili versus Yana, especially because that's a female fight. No, especially because that's a female fight. It used to be a female fight, and it made me happy a lot. Really made me happy. Made me happy a lot those days. Just didn't play out the way it should. Yair Holloway is up there, even though it's recent. Yair Holloway was a good fight. Korean Zombie Yair Rodriguez, that was a great fight. Korean Zombie Yair Rodriguez, that was a great fight. I really like Korean Zombie versus Yair Rodriguez. That was a brutal fight. What do you think wins the Muay Thai fight between Yair and Volk? I would give advantage to Volk as Yair is more of a technical guy. He has some taekwondo background, so I believe Volk would try to chop him down. Hence, I'm not a fan of Volk, the greatest fan of Volk, but the guy is brutal. The guy is brutal. He is doing a wonderful, wonderful job. So even though I'm not the greatest fan of his, I think he has good chances to win that fight. If you know what I mean, I really do think that he has good chances to win that fight. Yair, Jan, and Volk just on the feet are the best strikers in MMA, I think. Yair turned Max into a wrestler. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But to be honest, Max's fight IQ is pretty much high level. Paul Daly, Nick Diaz is the craziest fight I have ever seen. Every Nick Diaz fight is crazy. Like, the craziest fight I have ever seen is Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit. And Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler won. Do you remember against Condit? Hit me. Hit me. Do you have a problem? Hit me. What's your problem? Spinning shit? You're throwing spinning shit? Come on. Why are you watching me? Come on, hit me. Hit me. Come on. Come on, you pussy. I was sad to see Korean Zombie get smashed like that against Volkanovski. Do you think it is time for him to retire? Do you think? I think it's time to retire. Fan of Zombie, but he just took too much damage. This is free discussion, Torrance, so you can ask. You can ask whatever you want. This is free discussion. Ask whatever you want. Yeah, this is like 274 discussion, but no, not just prediction. Well, we will be dropping the actual predictions Tuesday. This is free discussion Tuesday. I always do it on Tuesday. That was an unbelievable performance from Volk against Korean Zombie. I just think Korean Zombie ate too much unnecessary beating. Paul Daly had Nick. Oh, but then Nick killed him. Crazy fight. I remember that. I know what you mean. Daly was winning, man. Daly was winning that fight. The craziest fight for me is Pat Barry versus Jack Kongo, because Kongo was down 2 times. Do you remember Pat Barry versus Jack Kongo? When Kongo went down 2 times and anyway he knocked out Pat Barry. Do you remember that fight? That was the craziest fight of all time, if you're asking me about male fights. Like, I was thinking Kongo was finished. Also, I'm always releasing predictions, actual predictions on Tuesday, just to know. Literally always on Tuesday. Maybe sometimes if I'm really busy, don't do it on Tuesday, but I'm trying to keep the ball rolling. Kongo's last fight was crazy. Yes, it was. Man, this guy is 46 years old and he's still fighting. Can you believe it? No, it still doesn't come to my mind. At that age, he's still fighting. Wow. What a warrior, what a guy. He really is a warrior, man. This is warrior mentality. But Nick Diaz, I think he's one of a kind. Literally, I do believe that guy is one of a kind. Kongo 46. Yes, man, Kongo is 46 and he's still fighting. And I think he'll be fighting at Bellator Paris. Kongo's fight coming up soon, man. He'll be fighting at Bellator Paris. But that is the most epic. Spinning shit? You're throwing spinning shit? Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz. That's Nate Diaz epic ground and pound. I have to make more videos like that in TikTok. I feel for Zombie. There are other periods where he would absolutely be a champ just to load the division. Yeah, unfortunately, I just think Zombie took too much damage. I think he should retire. I mean, he really did a lot for this sport, and he is a great fighter. But I just think he suffered too much of a beating. Yes, I know. I say the same. Zombie should retire. Also, I've heard that Zabit is going to stay retired. Don't know whether it's true. I've heard some rumors that Zabit's coach said Zabit's tired of fighting and plans to stay retired. I don't know whether it's true or not. Just read some kind of a rumor, I think. Not sure whether it's true though. I enjoyed the bit fights, but imagine the bit with a cardio for 5 rounds. That would be epic. That would just be fucking epic. 5 round cardio the bit would be amazing. That would be an epic place to deal with, if you know what I mean. Really much that would be an epic place, especially the bit with that high level cardio. Man, the bit with the high level cardio would be a beast. It would have really been a beast, if you know what I mean. If he moves to one championship, they just landed a nice Amazon Prime deal. Do you think Zombie could win a title? Yeah. That division is not so stacked at ONE FC. Hence, they have some good fighters. Rule change would be excellent for Zombie, especially considering the fact that he might kick people to the head, that he might knee the grounded opponent, which is, I think that made him a big problem against Volk and against other guys. He had so many open situations for knees, which failed to come to fruition because of rule limitations. But in ONE FC, it's allowed, and it could be a great pick, a great choice, if you know what I mean. It could really be a wonderful choice. I do agree with that. I really do agree with that being a nice pick and a nice place to work on. I'd be eager to see it. I'd be happy to see it too. Well, Korean Zombie at ONE FC. I would really be happy to see Korean Zombie at ONE FC. Those knee at ONE FC. I don't think you can soccer kick. You can soccer kick at Rising, but you can knee the grounded opponent. You know, you can land the knees to the face of the grounded opponent. If you remember, Demetrius Johnson lost to Adriano Moraes because of knees to the head of a grounded opponent, which is a perfectly legal strike. I think you can only soccer kick in Rising, in Votore, that's a Polish promotion, Vale Tudo, Brazil. You can also soccer kick there. You could have soccer kicked back in the days in Pride, and that's all. I don't know. Maybe some other organization allows it. This is crazy, so dangerous. Well, you can do it in Pride. If Gaethje drops Oliveira, which is very possible, do you think he will follow him to the ground and go for the finish? And do you think he should? No, he shouldn't, and I don't think he will. If he does that, he's gonna lose. You remember the fight between Thiago Santos and Glover Teixeira? That would be the same thing would have happened. Haven't seen any fight announcements, but I might have just missed something. What do you think is next for Josh Emmett? Not sure. I don't know. Some fight with a heavy-handed ranked opponent. Some fight that's gonna bring a lot of pay-per-views. Like Josh Emmett is already. I mean, he's not young anymore. He needs some fight that's gonna bring a lot of pay-per-views. I think he's a good material for pay-per-views, if you know what I mean. There is a Polish promotion that has like a 4-way MMA fight. That is Votore. Like in Votore, you can literally do whatever you want. You can You can headbutt your opponent. I just think you mustn't bite and you mustn't eye gouge. I think that's the only things prohibited. Bare knuckle fighting. You can soccer kick. You can knee the grounded opponent. I think you can also headbutt grounded opponent. Not sure though. And there are no weight classes. Votori. That is Polish promotion. I think it's gonna take place tomorrow. One of guys from Serbia, Vaso Bakovic. No, he's from Montenegro. Vaso Bakovic. He'll be fighting Vaso the Psycho. He'll be fighting on Votori tonight. I don't know. This is pretty much new promotion and kind of old school MMA. It kind of reminds me a lot of an old school. That sounds sketchy. Yeah. That pretty much sounds on like. Well. If you're asking me about UFC Fight Night this weekend, I assume that's the question. Jay Collier and Andrei Arlovsky, this is the co-main event of the evening. I was thinking it's gonna go in the hands of Andre Fili and Joe Anderson Brito, which unfortunately didn't happen, which failed to come to fruition. I'm gonna be live for 4 more minutes, just to know. I have to go to sleep, have to get up very early on, and today I was like sleeping too much, literally. Fucked myself up. I was sleeping too much, man. Like, I feel like a zombie because of too much sleeping. But I will also, as soon as I stop the live, I will release another CJ video because I see you are enjoying that. I really see that you are enjoying that. So glad for such a positive feedback, guys. What do you think of the Katie Taylor fight? I think Katie Taylor is probably going to win that fight, but I would rather go with a neutral pick, like over 8.5 or something like that. If Vera wins, who does he fight next? Same question, but for Font. I have to see who is free in the division. I have to see who could be free. I know what I would love to see. I would love to see Font Aldo, man. Or Font Sandhagen, like Font Dillashaw. These are fights I would love to see, but would they serve Font to Yan? That's a hard question. Vera, if he wins, I don't know who is busy right now, who is not, but I think Vera Dvalishvili would be an epic fight. I just think Vera Dvalishvili would be one of the most epic fights, as Dvalishvili can take a beating, Vera can last for 5 rounds. That division is stacked with super technical guys, but I would really like to see Vera Dvalishvili, or maybe Vera Cruz. Like, Font Cruz is not the fight I want to see, but Vera Cruz or Vera Dvalishvili, oof, I would burn to see that. Good to see you again. Have a great night. Do we have Collier? I actually have fight starts round 3, but if I must pick a side, I'm leaning Collier. But actually, I would like if Brandon Vera wins, because Brandon Vera has brutally good cardio. I would like to see him against a guy with brutally good cardio. That could be Corey Sandhagen. That could be... Aldo's cardio is tricky. TJ Dillashaw used to be PO cardio. Right now, his cardio is okay, but not the most epic. That would be a fight of cardio boys like Vera Sandhagen. Vera Dvalishvili would be a long-lasting fight, and Vera Cruz, like, let's move like a cat, man. And Cruz cardio is also good. I would like to see Vera fighting a guy with a great cardio. Cruz versus Aldo prediction, if it happens. I'm going with Cruz. Sorry, just a die-hard fan of Cruz. Plus, Aldo's not evolving, man. I mean, okay, he dropped to 135. He's showing some good skills, but if Cruz fights the way he knows to fight, that should be a victory for Cruz, especially in the later rounds, as Aldo drops too many pounds. If the fight advances into championship rounds, Cruz should be having the advantage. Aldo would need an early stoppage in that fight, which is less likely to happen. He is not Henry Cejudo. Like, he's a totally different type of fighter from Henry Cejudo, which could be very, very good for Dominic Cruz. If you're asking me, like, as a die-hard Cruz fan, I know a lot of stuff about Dominic Cruz, especially about his footwork. The guy is always on the tips of his toes. Guys, I would stay more, but tomorrow I have to get up at 5:30 a.m. I'm ref in 3 matches tomorrow, then going to the hospital. Won't be airing UFC weigh-in tomorrow, but last minute picks and predictions are gonna air, just to know. So I will write that in community tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone, and catch you later, my die-hard fans. Tomorrow, catch me for last minute picks and predictions, and have a great day, everyone. A great night. I'm gonna release one more CJ video now, and that's it for today. Night, guys. You rock. Thank you.